This is the Commissioner meeting of July 9th, 2025 at 6 p.m. at the Sussex County Administrative Center, Commissioner Meeting Room, 1 Spring Street, Newton, New Jersey. Can I have a roll call, please?
Commissioner Hayden.
Here.
Commissioner Henderson.
Here.
Deputy Director Space.
Here.
Director Carney is absent. Commissioner DeGroot.
Here.
Moment of silence and salute to the flag. Today's moment of silence will be for the flood victims in Texas. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Pursuant to the Open Public Meetings Act, Chapter 231, PL 1975, adequate notice as defined by Section 3D of Chapter 231, PL 1975, has been made by regular mail and email, such notice being submitted on January 7th, 2025, from the Administrative Center of the County of Sussex, located at 1 Spring Street, Newton, New Jersey, to the following: New Jersey Herald, Star Ledger, Straus News, and is also posted on the bulletin board maintained in the Administrative Center for Public Announcements and has been submitted to the Sussex County Clerk in compliance with said act. At this time, please mute all electronic devices. Number 5, approval of the agenda. Can I get a motion to approve the agenda?
So moved.
Okay, Commissioner Henderson and Commissioner DeGroot seconds it. Any discussion?
16A and B. Can we just separate those, please?
Okay, 16A and B. Yes.
Okay, thank you.
Yep.
Much appreciated.
Okay.
Do you need a motion then?
Yeah, you technically do. There's a motion
Okay.
to approve the agenda, so whoever
Okay.
moved the
Yep.
motion, whoever made the motion to approve the agenda should just agree, if they agree to
Okay.
modify their motion in response to Mr.
Make a motion.
That motion.
Okay, and
I'll
you'll
second
second it? Okay. All in favor?
Aye.
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 Opposed? Abstain? Motion carries. Number 6, there are no proclamations, certificates, or presentations. Number 7, no executive session. 8, no public hearing. 9, public session from the floor. This public session is for those wishing to make a comment of 3 minutes or less regarding an agenda item. Please line up at the microphone and state your name, municipality, and agenda topic for the record. Can I get a motion to open the floor for public comment?
So moved.
Okay, Commissioner DeGroot, and a second from Commissioner Hayden. Any discussion? All in favor? Aye. Opposed? Abstained? The floor is open for agenda topics only. Okay, seeing that there is none, can I get a motion to close the floor for public comment?
So moved.
Okay, Commissioner Henderson and Commissioner Hayden. Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Abstained? Okay, motion carries. Number 10, Commissioner comments. We'll start with Commissioner Hayden.
Hey, so I missed the last meeting. I was trying to get some money for a fundraiser, something that no child with rare disease. Prior to that, I was at the Senior Olympics, and I want to thank our staff for doing a really good job. Did a really good job with that. The other thing I'd like to report that the farmland preservation, the subcommittee we have, we've kind of identified where we want to be with numbers, and we're working on that. We're trying to fix the maps up, and we should have something for you guys soon.
Great. Okay, Commissioner Henderson.
Okay, since the last meeting, things have been relatively quiet as I've spent the last 9 days in Oklahoma City. On Monday, 7/7, I attended the Sussex County Planning Board meeting along with Commissioner Carney, where an application for Mill Street in Branchville was approved by the members of the board. The final approval will be before this board since it involves the county right-of-way. I'm scheduled to visit Essex County to a former jail that has been renovated into the Leroy Smith Public Safety Building in Newark, which consists of county offices and storage. This building was scheduled to be demolished and sold in a very similar situation to our current jail. And that's all I have.
Okay, Commissioner DeGroot.
Yes, on June 28th, I had the pleasure of joining Director Carney at this quarter's mayor's meeting. A key topic of discussion was the upcoming repairs to the Route 15 bridge in Lafayette, which are expected to cause significant travel disruptions. We stress the importance of proactive communication between the county and surrounding municipalities that will be affected. Our conversation concluded with a shared commitment to ensuring residents receive timely and accurate updates from the state in the weeks ahead. Additionally, we discussed open space and farmland preservation, specifically the ballot referendum. I'm especially pleased to see the referendum question is on our agenda tonight. As I stated on January 1st, 2025, my top priority for this year has been to authorize a public referendum for the November general election to seek voter approval to continue the Sussex County Farmland Preservation, Recreation, and Open Space Trust Fund for an additional 10-year period. I'm pleased with the language of the question as it closely mirrors the successful 2015 ballot initiative, maintaining consistency and clarity for voters. I believe deeply in the power of the people to shape their future, and I'm excited to see Sussex County residents make their voice heard this November. With the NJTPA, North Jersey Transportation Planning Authority, the 30-day public comment period is now open for several important NJTPA draft documents that are critical for securing federal transportation funding. These include Connecting Communities, the Long-Range Transportation Plan, Fiscal Year 2026-2029 Transportation Improvement Program, Air Quality Conformity Determination, Fiscal Year 2026 to 2035 State Transportation Improvement Program. Virtual open house will be held Thursday, July 17th from 4 to 7 to comment if interested. You can log in anytime during that window to learn more, ask questions, and share input. Please visit njtpa.org/public comment to register and participate. For the Division of Senior Services, the division will host a caregiver support group via Zoom on Thursday, July 17th from 2 to 3 p.m. This virtual group provides caregivers with emotional support, strategies to manage stress, and up-to-date information on services and programs, including referrals. To register or learn more, please call 973-579-0555, extension 1288. For the County Library Services, Sussex County Library System, in partnership with Brandstone and the Sussex County Miners, is excited to launch Reading Rocks this August. From August 1st to August 31st, children ages 2 through 12 can visit any library branch, read 5 books from the Bray-Ann book reading list, and earn a Reading Rocks prize box featuring a Brandstone t-shirt, Sussex Miner tickets, and books. There will be a kickoff event on Wednesday, July 30th at 10 a.m. at the main library for a fun-filled morning of stories, music, and activities to launch the program. Please visit Sussex County Library System's website for more information on this and other summer programs. Community highlights from the last time we met. The board had the honor of presenting a proclamation to the Sparta Community Food Pantry in recognition of their 40 years of dedicated service to Sussex County and North Jersey. The following Friday, I had the opportunity to visit the Sparta Community Food Pantry and witness the incredible work they do. They really serve over 4,000 individuals each month, including seniors, veterans, students, and the homeless. A sincere thank you to the hardworking staff, volunteers, and donors who make that impact possible. Also had a privilege of participating in the John Kukula Memorial Golf Open. Heartful thank you to Bunny and her outstanding committee for organizing a truly remarkable event. To date, they awarded over 270 scholarships totaling over $413,000, including many students from the Vernon community. Their generosity continues to make a lasting difference in our lives to young people. That concludes my report. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. I want to welcome Dr. Corey Homer, our newest college president for Sussex County Community College, and we're happy to have you stop in at our meeting, and thank you for all you do, and we like the direction the college is headed. Thank you. On June 29th, I attended and spoke on behalf of the board at the 76th Annual High Point Memorial Services. This yearly event brings American Legion posts throughout the state up north to High Point for a beautiful, touching ceremony. They do a march up to the monument, and it was very nice. On Wednesday, July 2nd, I attended and donated blood at a blood drive for one of our Sussex County dispatchers, Shannon Tonis. Shannon is battling terminal cancer, and 71 pints were collected. And in true Jill Space fashion, I got up afterwards, and I got a little dizzy, and I fell, hit my head, and fainted. So, but I recovered, so, anyway. And that was about all I had, because it has been a quiet 2 weeks with the holiday weekend. Division of Health, Office of Public Health Nursing, a women's health clinic will be held Thursday, July 17th, 2025, from 4:30 to 7:30 p.m. at the Office of Public Health Nursing, 201 Wheatsworth Road, Hamburg. This clinic offers a variety of health screenings and education. This service is free to uninsured and underinsured county residents who qualify for the New Jersey Cancer Education and Early Detection NJCED program. To make an appointment, call the Office of Public Health Nursing at 973-579-0570, extension 1275. And then the next part of my report is all the communicable diseases. I'm not going to read them. Mosquito control program highlights. They will be available online, though. Mosquito control program highlights: one pool of adult mosquitoes has tested positive for La Crosse virus in Vernon Township. This is the second pool to test positive for this disease in Sussex County, with the first positive pool detected in late September 2023. The common vectors of La Crosse virus are referred to as the eastern tree hole mosquito, since they are known for breeding in tree holes or artificial containers like tires. Because of their breeding habits, residents should remain vigilant about dumping and draining standing water around their homes and should be using EPA-registered insect repellent when outdoors. Please note that the high populations of mosquitoes that residents are currently experiencing are from different mosquito species called floodwater mosquitoes. One pool of adult mosquitoes has tested positive for West Nile virus in Hopatcong Borough. Since the beginning of West Nile virus testing in 2002, this is the second earliest detection of West Nile virus in Sussex County, with the earliest detection on June 12, 2017. The Office of Mosquito Control continues to see above average and even record-setting numbers of adult mosquito populations in overnight traps due to high precipitation. The office has been receiving many complaints from residents regarding inundations of mosquitoes on their properties. Mosquito control staff are working very hard to address these issues and will continue to perform truck-mounted ULV spraying applications to provide relief to areas of high mosquito activity. Residents should continue to anticipate high populations of mosquitoes over the next few weeks. If you are experiencing any issues, please call the Mosquito Control Office at 973-940-5225 to request service to the area for trapping and control. Please visit Mosquito Control website for additional information at sussex.nj.us/mosquito. Free spotted lanternfly traps are still available to all Sussex County residents. If residents would like to receive their free traps, please contact the Office of Mosquito Control at 973-940-5225 to schedule a pickup time. Traps can be picked up at the Mosquito Control Office on Monday through Friday from 8 to 4:30, but scheduling an appointment is preferred to ensure staffing availability. Public outreach: the mosquito control tabletop display will be set up weekly at the municipal buildings in Sparta and Hardiston Townships and Franklin Borough from July 7th to July 25th. The mosquito display will be showcased in the foyers of each municipal building and will have informative mosquito control and biology brochures and pamphlets for our residents. And that's all I have. Okay. Number 11, we have no consent agenda. We don't have minutes to approve tonight, and there are no ordinances. Number 14, appointments and/or resignations. A, appointment of acting Sussex County Prosecutor Sahil Kabis as a member of the Sussex County Youth Services Commission effective immediately in the category of County Prosecutor, filling an unexpired term for forming acting Prosecutor Carolyn Murray. And B, appointment of Danielle Schappert to the Sussex County Mental Health Board for a term of 3 years, effective immediately and expiring June 30th, 2020. It's not on mine. Does it say?
No, sorry, 3 years, 2028.
Oh, okay, 2028. Okay, can I get a motion to adopt resolutions A and B?
So moved.
Okay, Commissioner Henderson and Commissioner Hayden seconds it. Any discussion? Roll call, please.
Commissioner Hayden,
Yes.
Commissioner Henderson.
Yes.
Deputy Director Space.
Yes.
Commissioner DeGroot.
Yes.
Okay, resolutions. Can I get a motion to adopt resolutions A through G?
So moved.
Okay, Commissioner DeGroot. And a second?
Second.
Okay, Commissioner Henderson, any discussion? Roll call, please.
Commissioner Hayden,
Yes.
Commissioner Henderson.
Yes.
Deputy Director Space.
Yes.
Commissioner DeGroot.
Yes.
Okay. H, can I get a motion to adopt resolution H?
So moved.
Okay, Commissioner DeGroot and Commissioner Hayden, any discussion? Roll call, please.
Commissioner Hayden,
Yes.
Commissioner Henderson.
Abstain.
Deputy Director Space.
Yes.
Commissioner DeGroot.
Yes.
Okay, I'm going to separate these. Okay, 16, award of contract, award of contract for miscellaneous building trade services to be performed in and around various Sussex County buildings to NJSB Construction LLC from July 9th, 2025 through July 8th, 2026, in an amount not to exceed $250,000. Can I get the Board of County Commissioners of the County of Sussex has reviewed the award of contract change orders bids consisting of various proposed resolutions and determined that adoption of said Resolution A is in and will further the public interest. Can I get a motion to adopt Resolution A? Okay, Commissioner Hayden.
Second.
And a second from Commissioner Henderson. And any discussion? Roll call, please.
Commissioner Hayden.
Yes.
Commissioner Henderson.
Yes.
Deputy Director Space.
Yes.
Commissioner DeGroot.
Yes.
Okay, awards of contract change order bid, Resolution B. Award of contract for the supply and delivery of grocery goods. It's a rebid to Reneco Supermarkets, Inc. for the Sussex County Department of Health and Human Services, Division of Social Services from July 9th, 2025 through July 8th, 2026, in an amount not to exceed $100,000. The Board of County Commissioners of the County of Sussex has reviewed the award of contract change order bid consisting of various proposed resolutions and determined that the adoption of said Resolution B is in and will further the public interest. Can I get a motion to adopt Resolution B?
So moved.
Commissioner Henderson, and a second.
Second.
Commissioner DeGroot, any discussion? Yes, I will have discussion. I just would like to know why you don't want to approve
It's not that I don't
feeding
wanna
our
approve.
residents.
It's not that I don't want to approve, I'm abstaining, and here's why. Nobody showed me that we've changed any of the processes that were in place after the last debacle. If somebody showed me that, and how we're handling everything in inventory, I would be more than happy to vote yes.
Social Services is purchasing food directly. We are paying ShopRite on our bills list, just like we pay every other vendor. That's how that works. So
it's gonna be,
it,
so we'll be able to match those receipts up here.
100%, yes, you will be able, you will be able to get,
Nobody talks to
you'll be able to, well, you don't come.
You know what I was doing last week? I was getting money for a sick kid who had his jaw removed. Come on,
Yeah.
come on. Don't, you want to throw the snot balls? Did you do anything for that kid?
It's not my girlfriend's
It's not my girlfriend.
child.
It's not my girlfriend.
Bill, we all have family members that have
I get it,
issues.
but I was trying to
So,
get something for a kid. I think it's a worthy cause.
I didn't say it was. Wasn't. Roll call, please.
Commissioner Hayden.
Yes.
Commissioner Henderson.
Yes.
Deputy Director Space.
Yes.
Commissioner DeGroot.
Yes.
Okay, financial, number 17. Payment of the bills. Can I get a motion to pay the bills list?
So moved.
Okay, Commissioner Henderson, and a second.
Second. Second.
Commissioner DeGroot? Okay, any discussion? Roll call, please.
Commissioner Hayden.
Yes.
Commissioner Henderson.
Yes.
Deputy Director Space.
Yes.
Commissioner DeGroot.
Yes.
Okay. Next, we have B. Resolution authorizing the placement of a public question on the official ballot for the general election on November 4th, 2025, concerning proposition authorizing the County of Sussex to continue a trust fund to support farmland preservation, recreation, and open space programs pursuant to NJSA 40:12-15.1 ETCs. Motion to adopt Resolution B.
So moved.
Okay, Commissioner DeGroot, Commissioner Hayden seconds. Any discussion? Roll call, please.
Commissioner Hayden.
Yes.
Commissioner Henderson.
Yes.
Deputy Director Space.
Yes.
Commissioner DeGroot.
Yes.
Okay. Personnel agenda of July 9th, 2025. Can I get a motion to approve the personnel agenda?
So moved.
Okay, Commissioner Henderson, in a second.
Second.
Okay, Commissioner DeGroot, any discussion? Roll call, please.
Commissioner Hayden.
Yes.
Commissioner Henderson.
Yes.
Deputy Director Space.
Yes.
Commissioner DeGroot.
Yes.
Okay. 19, administrative report. Okay, nice. 20, county council, nothing. Okay. 21, do we have any unfinished business?
I do.
Okay.
I'd like to bring up the Keogh Dwyer Correction Facility, commonly known as the county jail. When I joined this board in January, I attended nearly a year and a half meetings before my election. On January 22nd, my second meeting, there was a resolution 62-25 passed unanimously by this Board of Commissioners. I'd like to draw your attention to a specific line of this resolution which states, whereas the County of Sussex desires to sell the property known as the Keogh Dwyer Correctional Facility located at Block 5.01, Lot 19. I feel the key word in this resolution is the word desire, not a guarantee of placing it up for sale. Since that time, I and several others on this board have toured the facility numerous times and have had various conversations with other county employees and constituents regarding the value of this building to the county. This building would cost approximately $100 million or more to construct a building like this today. As I've said at other meetings, this is not a renovation project the county can afford all at once. It needs to be completed in various phases. I had requested expense records regarding a certain department that the county owns for the last 4 years, 2001 to 2005. Over $300,000 has been spent on various repairs, including mold remediation, according to the purchase orders issued by this county. I feel this can has been kicked down the road long enough because the building hasn't housed prisoners in nearly 6 years. I am requesting a public vote at the next commissioner meeting by this board to move forward with selling or using the $100,000 money that was set aside to do a survey in which approximately $18,000 has been spent on legal and engineering fees to subdivide this property. It's my understanding the engineer's paperwork is almost complete and the subdivision will be shortly done before the Town of Newton's Planning Board. I will make a motion here to this board today to have a public vote by the commissioners whether to sell or not sell the county jail on the agenda for the next commissioner meeting. I am asking this out of respect for Commissioner Director Carney, as he's not here tonight to cast a vote.
So is there a second?
Yeah, I'll give him a second because I'm on board with everything. I mean, I'm not gonna go into what we talk about in executive session, but something else was presented, and I think we need to do it a different way. What was originally presented worked really well at the time. What was shown later was better. I'm all for better.
Yeah, and I'm going to give my opinion. I'm not going to actually give an opinion without the director here. So I'm going to abstain completely on any motion. So we have a motion and a second, and you want to comment? No. Okay, roll call.
Commissioner Hayden.
Yes.
Commissioner Henderson.
Yes.
Deputy Director Space.
Abstain.
Commissioner DeGroot.
Abstain.
So then it just, the
Dies.
dies, yep, okay,
Effectively, too, because the
Yeah.
two abstentions are effectively no's.
yep, okay. Any other unfinished business? Any new business? Okay. Public session from the floor. This public session is for those wishing to make general comments of 3 minutes or less on non-agenda topics. Please line up at the microphone and state your name and municipality for the record. Can I get a motion to open the floor for public comments?
So moved.
Okay,
Second.
Commissioner Henderson, and a second from Commissioner DeGroot. All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Abstain? The floor is open.
Sandy Hall, Layton, New Jersey. Thank you for the opportunity to address the board. The big, beautiful 1,000-page bill recently passed in Congress is confusing. Good and bad information from a variety of sources begs the question, does anyone really know what's happening? An email from New Jersey Congressman Van Drew says our hospitals will remain fully covered and receive funding needed to care for patients across the state. A news source says funding cuts of $3.3 million to hospitals and public health institutions in New Jersey will be affected. Congressman Van Drew said there will be no loss of Medicaid, no changes in coverage for legal eligible recipients, including expectant mothers, seniors, individuals with disabilities, and working families and children. The congressman also said there is a work requirement of modest 20 hours a week for able-bodied adults without children, not including seniors and disabled individuals. If folks can't work, they can volunteer in the community. If they can't volunteer, they can take online courses, get a GED, or take college courses. And this all sounds great. Who's paying for the online courses? Who will manage the work and volunteer programs? Will these conditions require more funding and staff from the county? Approximately 13% of county residents are on Medicaid, 25% of the county's children are on Medicaid. He also stated there are no cuts to SNAP for eligible individuals. And according to a news source, New Jersey will have to raise $300 million to retain the program. About 3,380 folks in Sussex County are on SNAP. The Sussex County Food Pantry suffered a huge loss when the angel donor walked away. To ensure those using the food pantry should continue to feed their families, the commissioners worked to resolve the issue and came up with a solution. I'm asking you for help to get correct information about available resources and programs so everyone gets their medicine and no one goes hungry, not in our county. Please think worst-case scenario if these funding cuts impact county services to those in need. Can a safety net be developed for those who may not have the ability to maintain their status on these programs? Perhaps an outreach program for homebound folks with disabilities? If these existing programs are cut, are there financial resources available to assist those in need? Is it possible to inform county residents exactly what programs and services could be or are impacted by this 1,000-page bill that I'm sure no one in Congress read from cover to cover? A response to this statement in the future would be greatly appreciated, and thank you for your time and consideration. And I have a copy of this statement and a copy of the congressman's newsletter to me that, like a lot of people, it's just befuddling. So if you could give us a response at some point, it would be really great. Thank you.
Great presentation. Jeff Hall, Beamerville. As you know, a couple of you and your spouses were fine. So it is with great pride I am able to compliment you on your work. On behalf of the residents of Sussex County, I think you're doing a good job. I'd like to raise a few observations as we go along. A few suggestions, some advice, a couple questions. Observation. It was with great disappointment that my invitation to the Bezo wedding in Venice was not received. I was relieved that he was able to have such a humble ceremony. Thank you for the big, beautiful bill he will be receiving, one of the largest tax breaks in America. Big relief and thanks goes out from me and Donald, to the competent and honest Pam Bondi, for conveniently bearing the client's list of Jeffrey Estepes. Another thank you to the people who cut off U.S. aid and other programs that prevented the starvation of children while increasing the budget of ICE by billions of dollars. Now we can rest assured homicidal migrants who harvest our food can be chased down and sent to prison. Now a little advice. Horrific events in Texas over the holiday weekend reminded us about how important it was to have the National Weather Service. Luckily, we have a president who knows more about the atmosphere than any other scientist. His answer to stopping storms is to drop a nuke on them. It is a relief that we have a limited supply of weapons. Relief that we have a limited supply of weapons to send to Ukraine, who are battling a threat to European democracies. Hasn't anyone realized that we won the war on day one, as was promised? And a few suggestions here from me. Bought a few products from the Trump gift catalog with no tariff. Trump Bible, although exquisitely adorned in gold, has no instructions on whether it should be held upside down. There are not as many Trump family photos as I thought, and it truly did not make it a godly book. Golden sneakers. Yes, they are gold, made for marching in birthday parades. Rumors. Okay.
Hi, I'm Corey Loyola from Branchville. I assume that you take an oath to uphold the New Jersey State Constitution as well as the U.S. Constitution. I once had a very smart professor who freely shared this maxim with us, her students. It was, if I had more time, I would have said less. So here's my less is more comment with regard to the resolution that you passed last month about the Newton Green. The First Amendment of the United States Constitution says, Congress shall make no law respecting an establishment of religion or prohibiting the free exercise thereof, or abridging the freedom of speech or of the press or of the right of the people peaceably to assemble and to petition the government for redress of grievances. Article 1, paragraph 18 of the New Jersey State Constitution states, the people have the right to freely assemble together, to consult for the common good, to make known their opinions to their representatives, and to petition for redress of grievances. The resolution you voted for and passed last month violates both of these and infringes on the rights of the people of this community. Thank you for your time and the work you do for this community.
Good evening, Kenneth Collins, Andover Township. I got here a little late and I didn't have a chance to prepare what I was going to say to you tonight, so I'm just going to fly off the cuff here. This past 4th of July, something happened here, right out there. It was an absolute travesty. For the first time in a very, very long time, in many, many years, nobody read the Declaration of Independence out there on the green on the 4th of July. It's an annual event. I have friends that come to that every single year, and they're truly disgusted by what you've done. You are violating the civil rights of your constituents exactly as has been described by other people here tonight. You are gonna get sued for it if you keep it up. You know you can't violate people's civil rights without getting sued. And when you get sued, you're gonna lose. Next, it's my understanding that the reason why they chose not to read the Declaration of Independence out here on the green is because of an illegal requirement to get automotive insurance when they're not even bringing a car. You can't do that. It's illegal. You cannot require people who are going to hold an event that are not going to bring a vehicle on that property to get automobile insurance for the event. If they're not going to bring a car on the property, they do not need automobile insurance, which is making it prohibitive. If it were not for the automobile insurance requirement, the travesty that occurred out here where the reading of the Declaration of Independence had to be relocated to another place would have never happened. They would have gotten the required insurance and they would have read it, but they couldn't afford the automobile insurance, which is illegal, and you cannot require it if they do not have a vehicle. I don't know what you don't understand about that. It's very basic. But you need to get on your website and change your application form and take that off of there, or put on there that automobile insurance is not required if no automobiles will be used or enter the property for this event. The only reason automobile insurance would be required is if a vehicle they're using pulls up onto the green to load or unload. And since there's ample parking all around this entire area, that generally isn't required for the majority of people who want to use that property for an event. I'm gonna warn you again, you're gonna get sued if you keep violating people's civil rights. I think you know that. Have a great day.
go ahead.
Brienne Stevenson, Branchville. I want to highlight the shared core values of conservative and liberal Americans. On July 7th, a writer from Jersey Conservative posted about the newly imposed insurance permit requirement for use of the Newton Green passed by this commission at the June 11th meeting. The author, a conservative, rightly pointed out that this permit requirement is a restraint on freedoms protected by the First Amendment to the U.S. Constitution. It's been a false narrative pushed by the current federal administration and some people in this room that conservatives and liberals, Republicans and Democrats are opposing sides of an ideological battle. While there are, of course, differences, there is more that unites the two sides than divides them. And in order for our nation to prosper, we need both ways of thinking. My own household is run by a liberal and a conservative and is better for it. I'm a self-admitted bleeding heart liberal while my husband is much more conservative, especially fiscally. If it were left up to me, I'd give all our money away to charity. And if it were left up to him, we'd never spend any money on anything. We balance one another out. The same should be true in government. Conservatives and liberals share the ideologies of individual freedom, the rule of law, fiscal responsibility, free markets, and human dignity. These are 5 of the 7 so-called core principles of conservatism posted on Speaker of the House Mike Johnson's website. At Indivisible Sussex, we seek peaceful advocacy of our planet, our democracy, and our communities. We believe we are stronger together than alone. These core values are not at odds, but our president recently stated that he hates Democrats and believes that they want to destroy the country. As a Democrat, I do not want to destroy America. I want America and its people to prosper. One of the core principles of conservatism where I feel both sides are most strongly united is the rule of law. The textbook definition of conservatism is to promote and preserve traditional institutions, customs, and values, to uphold the laws and constitution of our nation. The current Supreme Court's practice of overturning decades of precedent is by definition not conservative. The idea that one man is above the law is not conservative. To state opinion as law is not conservative. I ask that we see through the hateful, divisive rhetoric and find that common ground. In a true democratic republic, it is the job of the people and government officials to thoughtfully weigh the pros and cons of legislation through public comment, debate, and expert insight. It has been a recent trend in government to decide an issue before, without, or even in blatant disregard to any public input or facts. This practice is destructive to America. We need to return to common sense and decency. To start, this body of commissioners can appeal the insurance requirement to gather at the green. According to the First Amendment of the United States Constitution, the government shall make no law prohibiting the free exercise of the right of the people peaceably to assemble. Additionally, I strongly support the New Jersey Immigrant Trust Act. Thank you.
Good evening, Sandy Pender, Frieden Township. I was inspired at the last meeting by a fellow citizen, so here's my little ditty. Donald Trump, you give tax breaks and favors to wealthy supporters and corporations while the rest of us pay our fair share. How dare you, Donald Trump? You arrange lucrative business deals in foreign countries to enrich yourself, creating huge conflicts of interest for our national security. How dare you, Donald Trump? You willfully ignore and bypass Congress and the judiciary to do whatever the hell you want. How dare you, Donald Trump? You fully exploit the office of the president to enrich yourself with sales of signed Bibles, gold sneakers, you name it. How are your wares, Donald Trump? You gleefully strip away American citizens' civil rights enshrined in our Constitution. Doesn't seem fair, Donald Trump. You forcefully pressure elected officials because they must support you unconditionally. Are you scared, Donald Trump? You openly and repeatedly break the law while professing that you're the head of the party of law and order. You're on a tear, Donald Trump. You put sycophants in vital cabinet positions despite the fact that they are clearly unqualified and unhinged. Do you care, Donald Trump? You blow up years of carefully nurtured relationships with allies and cozy up to Putin. You're quite a pair, Donald Trump. Our country and the most important leadership position in this world like it's an effing reality show. How's my hair, Donald Trump? I could go on for a hell of a lot longer, but seriously, I have some important questions for all of you. As an elected official, what does leadership look like to you? Do you support this historic power and wealth grab, or do you value leaders with integrity, intelligence, and common decency? As an elected official, are you being complicit with all of this? Are you looking on or looking away? Or are you standing up for democracy and the rule of law? How do you think your constituents should respond to complicity with this administration? As an elected official, how do you feel about what is happening to our nation? I know how I feel. I feel sick to my stomach. Are you concerned? Are you concerned about what will happen when tariffs impact our businesses and our citizens? Are you concerned when federal funding goes away for our citizens' health care and food assistance? Or are you more concerned about shutting down your own citizens' right to assemble and voice grievances? These are great questions to consider because we, your constituents, are fully paying attention. We are paying attention to what you do and what you don't do, and we are going to keep showing up here. It is way too important not to. Thank you.
Kathy Brennan, Hampton Township. I'll be kind of quick tonight because I just want to reiterate some things that people have already said. Now that the so-called big beautiful bill is passed, there is no longer any speculation. We know there are going to be many, many changes. I'm very concerned for our students, our seniors, our disabled and disadvantaged. What are we as a county going to do to ensure that these residents are not negatively impacted and they will continue to get the services they need? I also wanted to say something about the Newton Green. I was very saddened to hear about the first casualty of the insurance on the green requirement. The VFW for years has held their reading of the Declaration of Independence on 4th of July, and they had to hold their ceremony this time indoors at their building because they could not afford the insurance. I feel this is just the first of many events that will be forced to either move or be canceled. The Newton Green has always been known as a place for the community to gather and exercise free speech. And that has always been one of our rights. And it very much saddens me that this seems to be going away. And on my third topic, of course, about Commissioner Hayden, I would say to Commissioner Hayden, if you are having family issues and this so impacts you or whatever, I will say again, resign, and you can take care of all your issues. Bye-bye. Thank you.
Good evening. David DeWitt, Hampton Township. Well, congratulations. The Trump Republican Party has passed a one big beautiful tax bill, which like a 50-foot tsunami of sewage is poised to engulf us, leaving us treading water trying to digest who wins and loses from this abomination. 900 pages of dense Washington speak, written to obscure and confuse, passed without being read, much less studied. This is the most regressive legislation ever inflicted on our country. It has so many moving parts that it will take years just to understand. But its basic principle is crystal clear. It's designed to transfer wealth from the poorest among us to the mega rich. This budget-busting bill adds trillions to our debt while enriching those who already have much more than they could spend in a lifetime. Has the party of Lincoln and balanced budgets lost its mind? Big surprise? Not when you have a convicted financial criminal orchestrating the game. Financial manipulation and fraud have long been Trump's real profession. For instance, just since he's returned to office, who would call these actions honorable or moral? He accepts illegal gifts like huge airliners from foreign governments and expects us to pay for the modifications. He is actively involved in making lucrative business deals for hotels and other real estate benefits by pressuring foreign governments. He extorts cash and services from law firms and others. Even CBS, 60 Minutes, had to pay up to settle a ridiculous lawsuit. He requires hefty contributions to his cryptocurrency slush fund if you wish to join him at the White House for an audience. His three-card Monte game of tariffs is perfect for stock manipulation. The seesaw on again, off again rate pronouncements mirrors the up and downs of the market. Just a coincidence, or is somebody getting rich? All this in plain sight and met with a deafening silence from his cronies in the Republican Party and his cult followers. This is not what it should be. It's time to speak up. Tell the truth before he destroys our lives, our fortunes, and our sacred honor. Thank you.
John Snyder, Sandyston. Someone recently mentioned about a 900-page bill that nobody read, so I'm going to quote Nancy Pelosi. We have to pass the bill so we can find out what is in it. I'm sure some of you might recall that from years back. Speech that I hear and the hate in people's voices, and you wonder, where does the violence come from? It comes from a lot of what we hear at places like this tonight. We have people in Congress, in office. Michelle Wu, who is the mayor of Boston. Matthew White from Buffalo, New York, was just arrested for his violent threats. Dan Goldman, which is a congressman from New York. Hakeem Jeffries. They want to get rid of the masks on ICE agents. Yet they were silent with all the protests going on for the last 4 or 5 years, and some very recently in Los Angeles, of the rioters wearing masks. Apparently that's okay. You want to riot and break the law, wear a mask. You want to protect yourself and enforce the law, we want your mask off. Why do you want the mask off? Well, so we can identify you, we can threaten your wife or your husband, we can go after your children. That's what this is all about. The Democrat Party is the party of violence. Donald Trump on July 13th of last year came within a few centimeters, I believe, of losing his life. Yet we still hear the same language, the same threats. I'm 79 years old, and Donald Trump is the best president of my lifetime. Does what he says. He's not there to enrich himself. Does he sell items? I guess he does. It's a free country. I don't buy them. Doesn't bother me. There's some people here tonight from a group, I guess, called Indivisible. Assuming they take that word from the Pledge of Allegiance. But a number of them refuse to focus on the other word, the republic for which it stands. We live in a republic. We do not live in a democracy. I've said this over and over again. We do not live in a democracy. We live in a republic which protects us, gives someone like me, who's a minority obviously here tonight, the right to come up here and say things. Hard to say, I mean, we had 10 people arrested yesterday for the shooting of an ICE agent in Laredo, Texas. 6 female, 4 male. And once again, it is the Democrats in office that throw these phrases out and infuriate people, and in my opinion, are to blame for the violence that we see. Thank you.
Hi, Debbie Mello from Frieden Township. When I was younger, I could have cared less about politics. I was too busy raising children, teaching, doing all the things that were keeping me very busy. And I was a registered Republican, and I always felt that I voted for the right people when I went to vote. Never shirked that duty because I do believe it's very, very important. However, as I've gotten older, maybe not wiser, but obviously older, and especially in the last 10 years, I found that politics has become very personal for me. And I think for everyone, for a lot of people who are in this room tonight, and I would assume for you as well. This administration's policies are affecting all of us, and for many of us in negative ways, and I think that you have witnessed that by seeing so many of us coming to these meetings so that we can at least feel we have a hand in affecting policy. But when I look at all of the things, and of course, every day there's new things, and incredible how these things, and now these things are not just things, they're people. They're people that I've been connected to, and maybe you've had the same experience. By ICE. The raids are so cruel. There's no reason for the cruelty. There were lots of arrests in Edison and Elizabeth, right here in New Jersey yesterday. Vaccines, largest level of measles, 33 years. I remember taking my children to the pediatrician, Dr. Salerno, getting their vaccines when they were young, knowing that they couldn't go to school unless they were vaccinated.
1 minute.
Also, the attacks on Medicaid and SNAP and healthcare, the fact that rural hospitals are already closing, so, or they will cut services, where, especially in the Midwest, women who are pregnant may have to go, 3 hours to deliver a baby. Crazy to me. Threats to the states, the courts, politicians, and the American people. The environmental issues, which we're witnessing with megastorm after megastorm, which is pretty frightening and also tragic, especially the ones that we witnessed last weekend in Texas, and then closing down medical research by withholding funds, clinical trials that are interrupted. I could go on and on. I actually could, because I wrote it all down, but there's too much. We live in a red county in a blue state. How does that help the people of Sussex County?
Time.
I hope that we can find some answers together for that.
Frankfurt Township. Very short. We fought a civil war. It was a democratic war. Actually, the Democrats were right for states' rights, but if we didn't have Abraham Lincoln, where would we be? Where would this nation be? If we didn't come together under Lincoln. That's it.
Anyone else? Oh.
Kevin O'Leary and appearing as Lafayette Township Mayor. Mr. DeGroot had made a comment that we did have a meeting with the commissioners and the mayors, local mayors, a week ago Saturday, I think, or something like that. We did have a meeting on site this afternoon with the state DOT construction manager and representatives of Colonelli Brothers, the project contractor that's going to be doing the work. We were ironing out some local issues, and they promised that they're going to keep us apprised in a better, simplified timeline of when the traffic will be impacted. Like I mentioned at the last meeting, it does look like it's going to be October 2nd of this year, and then it will go through the end of April or early May 2026, when traffic would be impacted. They're putting a temporary bridge on the side closest to the pond, and that will accommodate 2 lanes of traffic that we have normally, including all truck traffic and everything else. What they are proposing is 25 days of alternating traffic, like I mentioned at the last meeting, twice during the phase of that time frame. But I'm not going to share exactly what that is. They're going to update it and provide that to us later, hopefully this week, when we iron out some of these details, including some use agreements with Lafayette Township on staging areas, et cetera. I think there was something else. But the other thing was that I have been in touch with all of the different agencies, sheriff, emergency management, all that kind of people that need to know, need to know this. And I'll keep doing that. I've added all those people to a contact list that will get updates throughout the course of this project. So trying to get the public, the information they need.
Perfect. Thank you.
Thank you.
None of us are looking forward to
No,
it.
I'm
That
not
live on
looking
the other
forward to it. I
side of it.
spent the entire day on it tonight, so it's going to be
Thank
tough.
you, Kevin. Anyone else? Okay. Can I get a motion to close the floor for public comment and return to regular business?
So moved.
Second.
Commissioner Henderson and Commissioner Hayden, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, abstained. Number 24, reminders, please check the county's website at www.sussex.nj.us for meeting schedules. Adjournment, can I get a motion to adjourn the meeting? Okay, Commissioner Hayden. And a
Second.
second, Commissioner DeGroot, all in favor? Aye.